Yang Xiaoxie, I Gankan Tantan advocates that Jian is not delicious here. A man in black has covered Xiaoxie. Ha. Xiaoxie laughed wildly for a while. Zhang Jian, you are the scholar, you can kill these helpers of mine, talk about it again. Exit the war zone. On the one hand, it is the black market killer of the outlaw martial arts, and on the other hand, it is the Xinyu men that is known in the world. The night sky was still glowing with a faint blue light, but the ground was no longer quiet. What were they fighting for? What were they fighting for? Asked the moon god, and the moon god might tell you that they were acting. The sound of the killing spread for tens of miles, and it was very intense. Xiaoye swept away the crowd and looked at the battle circle. He had found that Xiaoxie had also participated in the battle, and it was in a sneak attack. Xiaoye laughed lightly and pulled him back to hide in the forest. Xiaoxie shouted, "Kill!" Happy. He smoked the cold jade iron and continued to compare. The little evil shouted, "Kill your head, where is Xiao Ding?" Xiaoqi smiled bitterly and compared his hand to the inspiration tower, and he could see a faint white shadow, which was the white shirt that Xiao Ding often wore. Xiaoxie looked at it and said with confidence, "What are you anxious about? Wait a minute, we will see that there are still people left over there, and then we will kill it." You see, although there are many people in the Xinyu sect, the black turban killers are very strong in martial arts, and some of them have to fight, and now we can't conclude that that side will lose. As soon as the tea was over, a square was already full of heads, disemboweled, all over the ground. The head burst into the brain, the white brain was splashed all over the field, not to mention the severed limbs and legs. The bloody wind was disgusting. There were only 4 black market killers left on the battlefield, and there were only 13 disciples left in the Xinyu men, and suddenly the black scarf killer released a flame that shot straight into the sky, which could be seen hundreds of miles away, and Zhang Jian also immediately shot out an arrow bell. Woo! The sound was like a deadly roar of a ghost, which made people stand up when they heard it. It was harsh and unpleasant, but it spread far and wide, 100 miles away in the middle of the night. Presumably a call for help. In less than 10 minutes, a sound of breaking the air had been heard on the southern hillside, and a few ups and downs. A black cloud had rushed in, and there were 40 or 50 black scarf killers who had already deceived them, encircling the disciples of the Xinyu sect and killing the killers. Zhang Jian saw that his manpower had not yet arrived, and in a hurry, he put an arrow bell that could make a rapid sound of whistling, and immediately met the enemy. This arrow bell is a signal of the Xinyu Gate 100,000 urgent. As long as the people within a radius of 100 miles hear this kind of bell, they must come immediately, otherwise they will be executed afterwards, and this matter can be a big trouble. As soon as the arrow bell came out, more than 20 helpers came one after another, and they immediately joined the battle without saying a word. In less than a quarter of an hour, more than 200 disciples of the Xinyu sect Qinkan branch had all arrived, and the momentum was huge. However, the black turban killers are all trained, they will only kill people and will not escape, and they can only die if they can't do anything. In this case, of course, they are brave and difficult to do, killing their eyes are red, and they have reached the realm of selflessness. Time passed minute by minute, and the body was also built up. If they knew that this battle was a pure misunderstanding, it would be strange that they did not vomit blood. Xiaoxie paid attention to the situation. He said, Xiaoqi, you see, there are more than 200 people from the Shenyu Gate, and there are almost 180 people who are dead and wounded, and the black scarf killers have also died 40 or 50, and there are only about 20 left. Xiaoqi nodded and said, hate very good. The battle dragged on, just when the black turban killer was at a disadvantage. 10 more masked people rushed to the Black Cup in the west. Only a flash of these 10 masked people have descended on the battlefield like daypen birds. They are not panting, their bodies are not shaking, they look leisurely, and their skills are staggering. Xiaoxie had discovered that these 10 black-clothed masked men were very special, not quite the same as the previous ones. He was watching. As soon as the 10 joined the battlefield, the tip of the knife slashed, joined the no man's land, wailed and passed on. The blood was full of blood, and the tiger entered the flock, destroying the withering and decaying, and was invincible. But something strange happened. It was a general killing. They not only killed the people of the Shenyu sect, but also killed the black turban killers, and their outfits were exactly the same as the black scarf killers, and they also used oriental swords. What is the reason for this? Soon, there were only more than 20 disciples left of the Shenyu sect and all of them were injured, while the previous black scarf killers were dead, and there was not a single one left. Suddenly, another group arrived. This is none other than Wei Yuxuan, the owner of the Flying Dragon Castle, and the 5 masters under him, as well as the master of the White Flag Altar. Yuan Yuxuan was startled as soon as he arrived, and immediately shouted in a deep voice, "Stop!" The figure had already thrown towards the 10 black scarf killers. The 5 masters and the White Flag Altar master also followed the 10 black market killers alone. Xiaoxie saw that the opportunity to beat the water dog had come, and he was overjoyed, and hurriedly commanded Xiaoqi majestically. He put his left hand into his waist like a general, and waved his right hand forward and shouted, "Xiaoqi Shang, Shenyu Gate." The 2 of them flashed, grinning and rushing towards the remnants of the Shenyu Gate, slashing and killing the disciples of the Shenyu Gate one by one, causing the entire Shenyu Gate to be wiped out, leaving only the Qunkan Gate altar advocate Jane. Shaking his hands, whispering on his shoulders, the little evil pursed his mouth, like a pug who wins a battle. He can't be alive, and he is not a villain, he shouted. The leader of the soldiers, Xiaoqi, listen to the order, take a good look at Zhang Jian, the general, there is still a play to watch. Xiaoqi smiled incomprehensibly, and sat on Zhang Jian's stomach to watch people die. Xiaoxie also sat down. He was watching Wei Yuxuan fight the black turban killer. Some strange questions trapped him. He had to seek answers, especially the later black turban killer. That side. Wei Yuxuan and his 5 masters, the chief manager Hong Ying, the chief altar master Zhu Bukan, the chief protector Jian Pingguan, the right protector Yu Langsheng, the left protector Ji Tenjiun, and the White Flag Altar master Shi Zikang surrounded the 10 black scarf killers, but these 10 killers did not fall behind, and they still acted freely. Xiaoxie was paying attention to their moves and martial arts, and he found that the martial arts of those black scarf killers were very weird, and they were not of the same origin as the Central Plains, as if they were people from the desert. He turned to Xiaoqi and said, "Xiaoqi, you go over and use your instinct to write down the smell on them, because these 10 people are too terrible, and we can't escape if we don't make it." Xiaoqi let go of Zhangjian with a smile, got up and pulled out the cold king iron to fight the black scarf killer. He tossed and turned between them while fighting, and soon felt that it was almost the same, and he caught a glimpse of a black market killer who was fighting with Yuan Yuxuan with his back to himself, and stabbed the black scarf killer in the back with a knife, and the tip of the knife pierced through the little dirty, and the black scarf killer immediately fell to the ground and died.